So, ladies and gentlemen, during the corona pandemic and in general in the last 2 to 3 years, we've got many online tests like this free personality test that I have right now, as well as all the other three that you can see on the top bar. And today we're going to be looking at a couple of tests and quizzes and see how weird they are. And maybe in the process you get to know a bit more about me, because obviously I'm going to be very honest. Otherwise, I'm not honest, that's pretty obvious, it's like common sense. So let's go and start with this free personality test. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the future speaking to you. Well, as you can see, there are, you can't really see it, but there are 4 quizzes and online tests that I have, but the whole recording is 40 minutes, so I had to cut all of them out in a separate video. So this time we're going to be dealing with the personality test. You regularly make new friends. Difficult to say. I'd say sort of. You spend a lot of time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. First of all, no clue what this means, but I'm going to say this, because I do spend a bit of my free time doing new things. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. That's like a meh, honestly, to be honest. I slightly disagree with that. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. Well, I do have backup plans, but why would you need a No, I'd say rather not. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I'd say yes. And at social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to them. That's sort of true. I'll agree. I'll be honest this time. Sort of don't like talking to new people that much. Now it's a bit different, but we'll see. And we'll go through this a little bit fast. It's only 10%, I notice. But anyway, you prefer to complete visual project before. I'm a bit neutral. Sentimental. You're very sentimental. Right. Technical difficulties, guys. I'd say no, not really. I'd rather not. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Yes, sort of. I'd say yes, but I've sort of not gotten the hang of it yet. So I'd rather don't. How do I say? I don't really tend to use it, but sometimes I have a look at things on YouTube and it just goes like, yes, that's the thing that's gonna make me bail. But anyway. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I'm going to slightly disagree with that. Before it was the case, but now I don't think. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone and you find interesting and striking a conversation. I'll be a bit neutral on that, because I doubt it. But to be fair, I could see myself walking to someone in like a very specialized place, where there's like one specific thing being done, and you're not too interested in discussing various interpretations, analyses of creative works. I slightly agree on that, to be honest. It doesn't make too much sense. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. Yeah. No. I'll put it there. You usually prefer just doing what you feel and you applying that I decently disagree with, is I do have a particular daily routine. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people that you meet. How about that? Let's rarely worry whether you. I'll say this because I do sometimes, a lot of times, worry, but it's often very superficial things, which often don't make any difference. You enjoy participating in group activities. Absolutely. Love them. Yeah, you like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the endings. Yeah, I decently like them. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your... This is like a It's a question where I would need some time to think, but I think I'd decently say so. Yeah, I'll go, yeah. Why is it? Okay, so you are interested in so many things that you find it different. No, not really. So I slightly disagree on that, just slightly, because I do have some interests. So you're prone to worrying that things will take a turn for worse. No. Nah, not really. You avoid leadership roles in group setting. Absolutely disagree. No. You're definitely not an artistic type of person. I'd slightly disagree because, it depends on the type of art, If it's drawing art, I'm absolutely horrible, but being creative, it's sort of it's something where I can do something, you know what I mean? So you think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings? Wait a minute. Would be if people relied on what's rational and less on feel. I'm neutral on that because I absolutely have no idea. I, honestly, to be fair, I don't really care about that much because either way, the world will still have, some bad people. Let's say it that way. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. Absolutely agree. You enjoy watching people? No, absolutely not. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself? Yeah, a little bit. Your mood can change very quickly. Yeah, it tends to be. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient with you. I'll be neutral because it sometimes happens, it sometimes doesn't happen. It's a bit of a meh thing. You often end up doing things at the last moment. Yeah, I'm guilty of it. You've always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after. No, I strongly disagree. Honestly, no point. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Neutral. I don't have a preference. Really, to be fair. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I slightly disagree because in some cases I don't like it, but in some cases it's very interesting to listen to. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours. I'll decently agree, but my empathy means something rather quite different. Anyway, usually postpone finalizing your decision for as long as possible. I slightly disagree because I used to do that, which is why some people may know me for leaving them on red for a lot of days. Now I don't do it as much, but maybe I'm being a little bit. Maybe I'm not being quite honest, but we'll see. You rarely second guess the choices you have made. I'll sort of agree, to be honest, because when it's like second guess, the first guess is where I do all the thinking. So, and after a long, exhausting week, a lively social event is just all I need. Neutral because I'm not really into that, but at the same time I find it interesting. Enjoy going to art museums a bit. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. I'll slightly disagree because then again there are some people that I know who I find it very hard, with whom I find it very hard to understand them. You like to have a to-do list for every day. Absolutely agree. You rarely feel insecure. I'll decently agree. Maybe this odd thing. And you avoid making phone calls. I'll slightly disagree because there are only very certain circumstances where I really don't do phone calls. But you often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own. A little bit, just not a lot. But I do it a little bit. In a social circuit, you're often the one who contacts your friends and initiates no, I don't do that. Although Although ideally, I would really love to be the person who did this. It's just that I need to try a lot harder than what I'm doing right now. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Yeah, I'll decently agree. You're still bothered by mistakes that you've made a long time ago. Absolutely disagree. They're gone now, these mistakes, whatever I've done, so I don't think about them. And you rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence. I mean, you rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. It's true. I don't need to. It's not something that's in my control, really. Your emotions control you more than you control them. That's fairly, I've got them under control. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it's completely their fault. Can't lie here. I sort of do. Your personal work style is close to spontaneous bursts of energy and organized and consistent. Oh, that's a complete lie. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take for them to feel disappointed with you. Neutral. I don't really feel like explaining it, but I'm not that inclined to agree or disagree. Let's say it that way. You'd love a job that requires you to work. No, absolutely not. That's just boring. Being on your own. You believe that pondering abstract is a waste of time. I sort of agree, honestly, but it probably has something to do with me. The fact that I just can't stand philosophy. Well, at least I can't stand that. These really confusing questions at the end that make no difference. But anyway, you feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmosphere than quiet. I'll be honest. On the one hand, sometimes the big places take me. On the other hand, maybe the quiet places take me. I'm not sure when that's ever happened, but that's probably gonna. At first glance how someone is feeling. Yeah, I don't know why, but I just have that feeling. I know when someone feels down, at least. That's the very least. You often feel overwhelmed. No. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. I disagree. Well, less, but sometimes more often than not, it just happens that I skip a couple steps and that this goes wrong. You're very intrigued by things very labelled as controversial, neutral, because it depends on the content, depends on what's being considered. Because otherwise, I don't really want to explain it. It depends on the subject. If it's something that interests me, I will go and delve into it for a little bit. Otherwise, I just leave it alone. So, you would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. You would. Okay, that's good that it says would, because I've never had that before, to be honest. But I say a little bit. Yeah, sort of. I would, but it really depends on the circumstance. You struggle with deadlines? Absolutely not. You feel confidence that things will work out for you? Absolutely. Gender, male. Okay. What kind of personalities will we have, ladies and gentlemen? This is the ultimate question on a certain sort of show. Console. Okay, wait, hold on. So, consoles are very caring, social, community-minded people, always able to help. Okay. 57% extroverted. Extroverted individuals really enjoy group activities and value social interaction. They tend to be outwardly enthusiastic and express their excitement. Okay. Observant individuals are pragmatic and down to earth. They tend to have a strong focus on what is happening or very likely to happen. 59% feeling, more 41% thinking. Okay. Feeling individual value emotional expression and sensitivity. They place a lot of importance on empathy, social harmony and cooperation. Okay, I'll accept it. Judging. Judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. They value clarity, predictability, and closure, preferring structure and planning to spontaneity. Okay, interesting. Assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, and resistant to stress. They refuse to worry too much and tend to be self-confident when trying to achieve goals. That's how we do it. That's how we do it here on the LD channel. Before we move on to profile, can we get an email copy of your result? Would you like? No. Well, why not? Okay, 1 minute.